This is the final update, part two, or is it? But anyways, if you guys remember, Monday was a big day in SEC news because the SEC updated a bunch of rules related to private placements, related to crowdfunding, related to um, raising money, right? So last week, and I did an interview a while ago about some of the final updates, and the ones I talked about were Regulation A, Tier 1, they were increasing it from 15 million to 22.5 million. Uh, and then Tier 2, or Reg A Plus offering, they increased it from a $50 million cap to a $75 million cap. Regulation crowdfunding, which was I think one of the bigger changes, they increased that from 1.07 million cap to a $5 million cap. And then there was also a change regarding certain disclosures you have to make when you're doing a Regulation D offering, trying to harmonize that with the Regulation A disclosures. And the last change that I talked about previously was in regards to integration safe harbor. So previously, the safe harbor for integration. So if you guys don't remember, integration is basically when you do two offerings either at the same time or right after each other. And the SEC says you really should have done that as a single offering. We're going to integrate them. And because we're integrating it as a single offering, you are now required to follow the rules of the more restrictive offering. So, for example, you do a 506C offering and then immediately after do a 506B offering, and you advertise under the C offering, but under the B offering, you can't advertise. And the SEC looks at that and says, oh, you did that just to get around the advertising prohibition, right? You really should have just done that all under a single offering. Because you did that, we're going to now hold you to the more restrictive rules, which are, if I was B, you can't advertise. And because you did advertise, you just lost your exemption and now you sold unregistered securities. That's integration, right? So previously there was a safe harbor of 6 months, right? So if you wait 6 months between doing two offerings, by rule, you are safe, you are protected, you will not have your two offerings integrated. The new rule came out on Monday was they shortened that to a 30-day window. So now, as long as you wait 30 days between offerings, by rule, you are safe. You won't have your two offerings integrated. And today I want to talk about a couple other changes that, kind of flew under the radar. I mean, I haven't talked about it before, but, and not that many people, I guess, kind of realized that there was a few other changes that the SEC released and went into effect on Monday. So the first one is kind of related to the immigration thing, because they shortened that safe harbor to 30 days. Right now, you could do a 506B offering or a 506C offering and then do a 506B offering in 30 days, and it won't be integrated. They wanted to make sure that as far as 506B offerings, that people, didn't use that to get around the 35 sophisticated investor limit. So if you guys remember, if you do a 506B offering, you can accept as many accredited investors you want and up to 35 non-accredited but sophisticated investors. So when the SEC shortened the safe harbor integration safe harbor to 30 days, it left open this kind of loophole, right? Like someone could get around the 35 sophisticated investor limit by doing a 506B offering, waiting 30 days, and doing another 506B offering, and taking, essentially more than 35 sophisticated investors because they do it, subsequent to each other. Well, they wanted to avoid that, so they put in the rules that on top of this, safe harbor, 30-day safe harbor, there is now a 90-day limit for your 35 sophisticated investors. So if you do a 506B offering, or if you're raising money under 506B, you have a 90-day window. You are only allowed to raise money from up to 35 non-accredited but sophisticated investors within a 90-day window. So you have to, if you kind of look at the rule, you have to now wait not only 30 days to not be integrated, but you have to wait 90 days to do a subsequent 506B offering if you anticipate taking more than 35 sophisticated investors. So that might throw a wrench into some people's plans as far as raising money, especially if you have a large group of investors that aren't accredited and are sophisticated. But what that also leaves open is if you do a 506B offering that lasts longer than 90 days, a single offering, you're raising money, you could raise money for up to a year, right, under Regulation D. So does that mean, you could, potentially take more than 35 sophisticated investors in a single offering, right? As long as you wait 90 days for that time period to pass, and then, bring in new, more sophisticated investors, as long as it's not within that 90-day window, you could potentially take, more than 35 sophisticated investors, right? According to the way the rule is written. Potentially, right? If you follow exactly how it's written, yeah, that's exactly what you can do. So we'll see if the SEC provides some more guidance on that. I don't know if that was their initial intent, right? To allow people to do that, to go over that 35 limit just by waiting 90 days. Right? So we'll see if that's what's actually going to happen, what the SEC actually wants to happen. And then the second update that I wanted to mention that I haven't talked about, but some other people have talked about, was in relation to Rule 506C. So Rule 506C is the one that you could advertise, but everyone has to be accredited, and you have to verify, you take steps to verify their accredited status. And for as long as 506C has been around, there have only been really three methods of verifying accredited investors, or three methods that the SEC specifically provides, right? So the way the law is worded is, these are essentially three safe harbors, right? As long as you do one of these three methods, you are safe, but that's not the exclusive means of verifying. As long as you take reasonable steps, you have to do something, right? So the three ways are, verifying their income by looking at, tax returns or pay stubs or W-2s for the previous 2 years if they're qualifying through the income method. The second method is the net worth method, which is, looking at their bank statements, assets, and whatever, and then looking at their credit reports, tracking the liabilities, and if they have more than $1 million in net worth, then they're accredited. And then the third is third-party letter, right? So get attorney, CPA, or investment advisor to basically do that, to look at their, tax statements, their bank account statements, and sign a letter saying this person is accredited. Those are the three methods. Well, the new rules that came out Monday, they added a new way to basically, well, not really a new way to verify an accredited investor, but they wanted to provide this kind of reasonableness threshold, I guess, for issuers, right? Because I guess there was a lot of complaint because people would verify investors, and then the way it was written previously, you would have to do that every 90 days. Every 3 months, you would have to verify your investors if you were doing a 506C, because that was, the safe harbor period, right? These third-party letters were only good for 90 days. So the logic was, after the 90 days passed, if this investor is investing again, I have to re-verify them. Well, a lot of issuers were like, but that's crazy. I mean, that's not very reasonable, because we know this person is accredited. We took the steps. So why do we have to keep going through this process of asking for the same bank statements, the same, tax statements, to re-verify this person? So the SEC decided to change, or I guess to add a provision that says, as long as you have, taken the steps to reasonably verify this investor, and you have no reason to suspect that their, financial circumstances have changed, and this investor, as long as they, check something that says my status has not changed, you don't have to verify them again. You can say, they're accredited based on the fact that I verified them previously. and I have no reason to believe that their status hasn't changed for a period of 5 years. So they did set a limit on it. It's not forever, obviously, because things do change. So what that means is if you're a 506C issuer and you verified someone for one deal, you took the steps to verify them, and then you do another 506C later, you don't have to re-verify them, right? You don't have to look at their tax statements again. You don't have to look at their bank account statements again, as long as it's for that 5-year period. And obviously, if you don't have any reason to believe that their financial status has changed, and they have to check the box that says I'm still accredited. So I think that's going to save a lot of obviously time and money for issuers. Obviously a huge headache for investors too. They don't have to keep providing these same things to issuers. So it's definitely going to increase, I think, the number of people that are investing in 506C offerings, because it makes it way easier, right? Way less headache to continue to be verified, essentially. So anyways, those are the two, I guess, changes that went into effect on Monday that I didn't talk about previously. There was a ton of changes. So, we might put out another video sometime in the future talking about all the little things. Today's Thursday. That means another episode of TLG Talks with Gene. It's coming out today at noon. So go to our YouTube page, check that out. We did announce a new rookie training camp. So our, hands-on class for 15 people. We cap it at 15 people to make sure that it's, more intimate and everyone has a chance to ask all their questions for people that have never syndicated before and want to syndicate everything you need to know to do your first deal. That is going to be in April. So if you want to sign up, go to our website, TrueRiverLawGroup.com, and there should be a link, I think, on the shop page. 2 days, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. So go check that out. As always, thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you guys next week.